are back as we get ready to go into finals here at the Karlsruhe Regional. It's been a fun one.
And I see the sleeves, and it's Mirage, baby.
It's Mirage. You know what? Some things are just inevitable. And for us, it's tax season. Right, top. I mean, this, not even, we can call it top 2, we can call it whatever we want, but really, it's finals. Oh, I'm so excited. Mirage doing what it does best. Kind of just counting down, but we will be getting into the final round in a second. Before we actually also need to grab the names. So yeah, we've got Jill, Marto, Bernardo on the left, coming in with the revenge map against his opponent.
And predictions.
True.
Make sure, guys.
You have to lock those in. Yeah, we're getting the names sorted out as well, but yes, those Preds. And Gil doesn't get the run back. So that's some points. Heading back.
I think Quang's in the chat now, hogging up the stream, but the casino, like, nah, it was a blast. It would have been way more interesting than anything else. Like, I would rather watch 5-6 games of Beals than 1 game of Davis, so you're fine.
Yeah.
It was a great run. You put up an excellent fight.
All right. Yeah, once we get the info, we'll be ready to rock and go, rock and roll.
You just need the Mirage player name, and then, yeah.
This is the downside to them literally not being on stream the entire time. Because it's either Mark Bruce or Miguel Barbosa. If anyone in chat knows, like, recognizes the player, which of those two it is, then let me know. I mean, we have time, but like, in terms of time on the round, but yeah, it's gonna be a weird one. And just to think, our last one actually ended in a 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into the game as we get sorted out. We'll get that final name change. Or at least we'll try to. Those sleeves, the Mirage ones, I believe they're on limited series. And I mean, Betamon plus blue training is a good way to start.
We see the Gilmon in the back. Getting choked at 1 back again is not ideal, but it's fine. You know, Levia does have a little bit of time rush. Sometimes needs to take time building up its pieces. But having that jamming Betamon is kind of crazy. We see the Tamer, but instead we're going to go for another training. Chooses to go training again. So training, you know.
Right, the names, we do have them locked and loaded. And you know what, for the final time, since we're never sure if Jill was ever going to bust her out, didn't ever want to change the size of the names, but this man has earned being in the box instead of just riding the line. Interesting that they're both on, like, off rookies.
Yes. Well, Betamon is a very good rookie.
Yeah. Its name certainly isn't Gaomon.
Into the Garuru X antibody. Now, I don't super love this pick because it opens you up to getting punished by a few different things. Considering that he has double training, he can, you know, Evo into a level 4, into a level 5, Evo into Mirage, and bounce the Garuru back to hand. But then, you know, Gil can always punish that with an option and sort of reset the game state. But instead, it's going to be training first, finds, and chooses to take the Goma over the Evade Mirage, which I actually quite like in this matchup. Lets you play a Marcus for free, as long as, you know, there's no Levy X in trash and a body on board. It's not the worst. And just so much setup here, so
I love
much digging.
OTK decks, man. Look at this normal ass gameplay.
I mean, Levia doesn't really want to play for chip for what's worth. Levia wants the OTK back. They don't want to, they don't want to give the Mirage player Tamers for free.
Yeah, I don't even think you want Dragomon here. I think unironically need the Cerberus X. Cerberus X. Nah. I don't know. They've set this up really well. Maybe you play for second stack. Maybe you play for second stack and just accept that this Garurumon X is not going to get any value. And then it gives you a couple more cards to cycle looking for the Cerberus X so you can go for the unsuspend. It looks like we're considering Drago with nothing in hand.
How bad can it be? Just Drago for 3.
He has an X antibody. Is there a world in... There's no world in which you drop Biting Crush here. Like, passing them 8 is just asking to die.
First check, Zudo.
Well,
He goes for the clear.
at the very least... Actually, no, that's probably maximum value, right? Because you don't have something to bounce, like low level. You're going to lose security, but it's a bunch of cards that are just gone.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the last training we'll see before we get the push out. 2 memories, not a lot, and it is a lot of training. So he's done a good job of squeezing him low. But the fact that we're checking 9 cards already, I think both players kind of can feel it in the air.
Looks like Marcus finally ready to go off. It does not have the free play Thomas.
Oh, I actually thought that's what it was, which is what, like, I'm almost surprised that he didn't just go...
Yeah, spend one of those turns playing out the Marcus.
Yeah, because what? You're looking at a Gabumon on an empty field, it wouldn't have done anything. Gonna bounce the first one, gonna gain 2. Gain 1.
Gain 1, yep. No evade is a little bit rough.
Although, if he just evolves for... Yeah, crack boost and then just evolve into burst mode here.
I guess he can play a Thomas first, draw 1, then burst.
I guess the reason I wouldn't like that... Oh wait, yeah, no, if you're going for the burst. But you're also, what? You're spending 4 to get a I hate this. I mean, he doesn't get punished for it, but I hate that a lot.
Yep.
Yep.
Unsuspend, go here, try to push his mind. At this point, he's safe.
Yeah.
Loop 1.
I was almost wondering whether we just see him evolve for 7, pass turn, and just go Lamau.
Take 2, unsuspend, 1 check unsuspended. There's really nothing in Levia's security that can check this.
Yeah,
maybe rune mode.
This game is jamming. Yeah, this game is like technically over already.
He gets 2 more checks, so he needs to make the 3rd check out of nowhere.
That security Garurumon, probably also a factor in the reason that Jill is sitting here. It's come up again.
This is the 2nd time. Oh, he has the Gao, so he can choose between the Gaomon or the Thomas to make both players draw 1, gets another loop.
I think I prefer this. Because it's a body that he has to deal with next turn. And you're already kind of like... you get answered by Levia anyway if he was to swing the 2 Gabumons in, providing they die.
This is extra messed up here, just because for the fact that the Garuru played the Gabu from hand, it means that he was no longer in a position to be at more than 8. So the Mirage just didn't really get to unsuspend again.
Yeah, that's
so
really
instead of clearing
smart.
Security, yeah. But he gains 2 memory, which pretty much mitigates the wolf. Even if he gets taxed, he has 2 trainings.
He also... Did he load a Gomamon under with the Lanamon?
He loaded a Gomamon, I believe, yes.
Yeah, so that's making himself super sticky. I mean, yes, obviously you're going to trigger the Biting Crush. He missed the unsuspend on...
No, he didn't miss the unsuspend because the Garurumon from security played a Gabumon from hand.
Putting him back under 7.
Put him in back under 7, yes. So he, like, hand looped himself preemptively. Which is honestly, like, a stroke of luck.
You know what? Frank passed the torch. He's like, sack him. Go on, win the whole thing. We're gonna have
Fujitsu token.
Ooh. I mean, the Fujitsu token means that if WereX pop unsuspend, he goes minus from hand now. If he does that.
Yeah, this doesn't trigger a draw and goes into Waru. He has to be careful here not to open himself up to Zudo.
We have ex-ante body here, so the body can't get bounced no matter what.
Yeah.
And you're going neg 1 from hand, so like there's no reason really not to drop it. It stops. I mean, you're not really in danger of getting bounced anyway with a 4-card stack. You'd just be losing the Gabumon. You could almost put it under the Gabumon if you wanted to be super safe around Zudo. Putting it under the Zudo would guarantee that you don't get scammed by getting shrunk to, you know, stripped 2 and then bouncing the Gabu. I think either way, yeah. All right. This turn's probably going to end with the attack anyway.
Security.
Oh.
Instead, just going to cast it. And this way, he can't really trigger Goma.
Well,
I mean, he can, but then opens himself up to Levia X in the trash.
Is there a Levia X?
Is there a Levia X in the trash?
I don't see one. I think that's why he did it.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah, I think that's why he did it. Because he knew that it would float anyway. And he wouldn't, unless he like managed to cycle over the Gabumon to like draw 1, pitch 1, and then pitch the Levia X, in which case, yeah, then it's like a double agent. But then you would just let the whole stack die.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're getting some sort of ruling clarification, because that, played for 7 and then you gain back 2. And then a card is played by an effect, so maybe gain back 1.
Why would... Oh, from the Octo.
Yeah, I mean, that Octo went foolish in the last one. By the way, it doesn't seem to be getting anything back, so we're going to be starting from a field of Goma. It's actually why I was talking about maybe, what if you...
He has to be careful. He can't use the Gaogamon to play out the Thomas because it'll... Oh, to be fair, there's no Levia X.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yes.
Then, he source strips.
Yeah, start of main source strip.
Main.
Yeah, I mean, it gets rid of the problem.
It's mandatory.
Yeah, it is. It's mandatory, so, I mean, preserve game state.
I guess he can go... There's a lot of play here where he goes effect to play out Thomas, and he can swing, and then Thomas to unsuspend, and swing again. Oh, instead he goes for the... Yeah. This is
bro, if this lives, I'll be so mad if this works.
This is one way to get lethal. He does have enough cards in hand, I believe.
Yeah, he's definitely clear of 8. I think he's just figuring out whether he wants to like just go for a sack or just play it simple. I mean, even if you don't get lethal, you at the very worst, you're swinging, you die, you lose 1, you don't float, but you have a rookie in the back. So they would have to be on a blocker, which this list doesn't do, and they'd have to climb to ruin. Okay, we're gonna see.
Oh, just straight up.
I don't hate it. It's not what I would have done, but I don't hate it. I think I would have liked to just see the last check go.
Yeah, this is definitely safer.
5 memory. See, the problem is the Gabu also should get 1, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes to 6. So evil for 2, no delays.
If you're going to pass turn... Oh, it makes...
If evil's into a 6, he passes turn.
Yeah, Goma makes unblockable. Yeah, so...
Yeah.
If he'd swung the Galga, he would have had guaranteed lethal. I guess maybe he was cognizant of potential setting a Biting Crush and then like that was live. But if he really wants it, he can just Biting Crush you again.
Mm-hmm.
If it lived off the unsuspend, cool. If it dies, it takes Gabumon no longer live and then you bounce the stack anyway. You think Gil has 7 in hand? Oh, is Thomas off of the opponent having 8?
No, Thomas is if you have 8, I believe.
Okay, so Mark might
yeah,
have had
OG
7.
Thomas. OG Thomas is... Oh, no, sorry. If your opponent has 8 or more, never mind, yes. Yeah, because he was... Old Thomas was the payoff for looping.
Good old Toma.
Okay, this way he clears the bodies. Same or more. But the Goma is going to float here. And then lightning. Yep. Oh, so he triggers lightning first and then uses the effect to clear a 3 and a tamer. By doing it this way. Much smarter form of removal.
Alright, and I think that was 11 cards in hand.
11 in hand, but, 5 memory is just a lot. At least for Mirage. Even he doesn't necessarily have to raise here. He can, but he doesn't have to raise. Because it's not like Levia is going to necessarily go for a game and he can put himself out of ruin mode range. But he also doesn't have a jamming source right now.
Yeah, he does have a float.
Oh, that's an oldie but a goodie.
What does this do?
This is BT11 Gao. Gaoga.
Yeah, as we Galgo at the 4. What does...
I believe if your opponent has 8 or more, gains a memory, and then when attacking, if you have a tamer as ESS, it bounces on opponent's level 3. An oldie but a goodie, and then it dies to security.
Yep. It is a real shame that we... Oh, I don't hate that. Takes it out of trash. Do you just Mirage here?
The problem is that there's no security for him to add back.
Oh, if he had the evade one, unlosable. Unlosable if he had it.
2 bodies passing at 3. It's gonna be pretty tough.
Yeah, I think that's leviable though.
A 5 and a 3. He can either just hard drop the Levia.
Yeah, straight up, you could just drop the Levia. I mean, no, 3's not even enough to climb.
Yeah, BT11 Gauga, that's interesting. Garuru. Yep. H1, draw 1, and then what?
I don't know. It feels like he's just fishing for something because he has to find a way to clear 2, which is unlike Beelzemon, you're certainly not going to get double pops.
Definitely not getting double pops with this little memory.
Is there a timeline where they both lose? I don't know. The venue explodes.
Finals. This is grand finals of grandest finals. Yep, and we're going to see Jill scoop it up here.
Yeah, I think that's smart. The timer's gone. Who cares?
Yeah, there's really there needs to be a clear undefeated.
Who cares?
It's currently 8 p.m. German time. So both of these players are exhausted. Yeah. And this is a deck like Mirage tends to be a little bit more linear. So, you don't have to make as many decisions, whereas with Levia, purple, while you're resolving draw 1 trash run for most of the game, you do have to make a few more decisions.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Jill goes home and sleeps till Monday.
From Leviamon to Belfamon.
But I mean, already 1 champion map on the table. Switch it out for a brand new fresh one. And we did see some Card Club people in chat. Hopefully they also drop some channel points as well. Trying to hit it big off of Mirage doing what it does best and dog walk EU.
This is potentially the final game here if Mark is able to, you know, clutch it up. Just blowing up Gil's security while he had jamming and being at level 7 is definitely the way you want to be doing it as Mirage. It's the safest way you can be swinging it. Often it's very, very dangerous to swing at level 6 and 5 just because you open yourself up to random punishes. So it's just best to play it safe.
All right, 5 cards set up, opening hands. And I wonder who's going first, because they're both sending their mulligan back at the same time. And actually, you know what? I do want to check the predictions. I want to see how far we leaned in one way. I think it was Jill was pretty heavy favorite. Yeah, the Jill fan club looking at 8.5k, and then Mirage always wins EU. People going for the safe bet is actually the biggest return for this one. We get to lock in our final. No, I panicked for a second because I checked the Twitch whilst I was doing that, and my Twitch was mad behind. So I was like, hey, yo, have I been on like face cam the whole time? There's no way y'all would let me troll away finals like that. There's no shot. And frankly, I was correct. Troll away the podcast directly after, I might do. Going into game 2 as we get ready to rock back into it. Going to see a Gaomon and the jamming Betamon in the back. And mark on game point, even though we all saw like a line that maybe cleaned it up cleaner. This is still the game point.
This is also very interesting here for Levia, because the fact that Mark was able to pass 3 and there's virtually no deck, no card in Jill's deck that punishes the rookie. He's able to just evo into Gaogamon and just play out the Thomas for free, and just now, you know, Gil gets to take exactly 1 action and Mark goes all the way up to 3 memory, while also pushing 1 point of damage, which is honestly like such a big tempo swing.
It's really rough as well because like boost is probably the most value he could have gotten. Especially when you pick up the one of. So like as far as like tempo plays go, that's pretty good because an Evo would have been a 4-cost champion. Or
whereas this,
yeah, like an ultimate that's asking to get bounced.
And here, I think it's worth noting that one of the reasons why Mark probably made it as far as he did was just because having the BT11 ESSs to just bounce rookies means that Mirage can very easily contest the Ukomons in the Numemon deck. So it's not like he's, you know, having to use his removal and leaving the Ukos behind. So he gets to like clear like a ton of stuff. Goes for the boost. Has some options. Looks like it's going to be a level 4. And he can probably still play training or just Evo.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That means that when his Mirage Gaogamon bounces, it's going to be 1 cost cheaper on the Evo. Yeah, this is the shoutouts to Risu the Squirrel in his chat.
I appreciate you covering EU right now. Yeah, this is a worst matchup for Levia. Like
for Levia, this is heavily Mirage favored.
The bounce obviously gets around all of your deletions, and also crucially, the burst mode being level 7 keeps it outside of 7th lightning as well as biting crush range.
Yep.
The problem is the deck loses to itself. Sometimes just, you know, your blonde lad is just on holiday.
We're gonna see the X antibody play, gets to at least clear the Thomas, but does pass. Actually, no, it does. It's a free Evo. So Gil gets to control the tempo of the game a little bit here. But he's going to start checking security, and if some Thomases pop out of security, it's, you know, it's as if all of his hard work has been just in vain.
I'm assuming that he puts the dice down just as like a marker for him to remind himself that everything's under a floodgate for a turn. That's a lot.
Digimon.
That's pretty good. And the thing is, you have to
Oh,
bounce
Digimon.
it. Like, he has to come out and bounce it, because if it ends up in trash again, it's just gonna warp. Like, you're just gonna be warping back next turn. I think a rookie, like, it's annoying because you want to say drop a rookie because it makes it easy to clear, but I think like Ramon past 2 would be the best way to get around this, because then your ESS like skills are a little bit harder to proc.
Oh, Biting Crush.
But
I'm not sure.
I don't like it.
He drew into a Thomas, so he can spend. So he's at what, 6?
Yeah.
He technically has 8. So he can spend 4 of that memory to play out a Thomas and still climb all the way up.
Yeah, it's rough. There goes the boost. Straight into Mirage. Bounce security.
He gets 2 memory here and then 1 from the ESS. He gets to play 3-cost Thomas if he wants to. Yep. And he doesn't need to complicate this. Yeah, just burst Evo. No need to swing at 6. Gain the 2.
And then we get to do
3 checks jamming.
Yeah,
and
7th is 7 Demon Lords tagged. So you can pitch 7th to set Biting Crush.
Yep, none of the security is going to matter here. Really, he's just pushing damage and choking as best as he can. This is like so devastating because Gil now, he can't really take an action that, you know, doesn't draw cards at level 4. Most of the Leviamon level 4 cards just generate advantage. And it will immediately pass turn unless he draws into Octo, but even then he's at 1. And he just dies next turn.
Yeah, the 1-cost choke, pretty good, because it puts you on, you can't just drop Levia to double clear.
Yep.
I think
so he needs to Evo for 2 and hope that, you know, Mark doesn't find a damage extender. He cannot pass more than 3.
If he has another 7th, though, because he did pitch the 7th, and 7th would clear here. It's one of those awkward ones where I don't know if pitching the 7th was the... Oh, never mind, he had one. Yep. Bring an end to that close. Because he keeps going for the burst Evo, he's always safe. Like, he's never safe after.
Yeah. So he clears 1, but now we're just back to, you know...
Oh, it's a 3, I'm stupid.
Second body. Now he gets to develop, and the Gomamon as well.
I actually don't know if there's a Levia in trash. I'm assuming there is. Well.
Finds... Oh, has, you know...
Yeah,
pick
if
your
you
poison.
say so.
Just Zudo to clear. I don't hate this. If he has the Gao to play out a Thomas, he's in a good position.
If there's no Levia, I think we should check the trash before we do that. I don't hate this. That's a free security bomb taken. I think he just picked up a Levia X off that. Yep. This puts him on better have it. Again, 2 memory, so we can't just drop a Levia to answer the board. This might be Mark looking to lock in another EU Mirage win.
Can Jill make a comeback here? Everyone is rooting for Jill. Everyone wants him to win, but this is probably his worst matchup.
Yep.
But I'm sure Mark also has a ton of people wanting him to win.
Blue Dog enjoys.
There's really no good way to go about this. He can Biting Crush or Lightning to clear one of the bodies and, you know, overflow, but, you know, 1 security, 2 Digimon.
I mean, you're staring down do or die, so I feel like you have to just, like, you have to do it. Gamblers always quit before their next big win.
Second Biting Crush, this is what I was talking about.
And, I mean, overflow. It's not going to cost that... I mean, wait, he's still...
Yeah, so he's still 3 memory, right?
This last check has to be exactly biting. Gaomon in... And we are going to finish things off. So that is going to be Mark Brist taking the Karlsruhe Regional. Fantastic play all round. We didn't get to see most of it. He was off stream, just lurking around tables 4 through 2. But it comes through when it matters most. And he is going to be doing what anyone would guess coming into the regional that Mirage was going to walk away with taking it. But it was certainly a hard fought one.
After, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games of no 5 games of Beelzemon.
Yeah, just straight purple, purple, purple. But yeah, it was a fun time.
It made for an entertaining regional, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. These Mirage players, they just clock in, just resolve their when digivolving, and then they leave, with their prizing. It's that easy.
It is crazy that it's just like, he probably didn't care who was in finals. He's like, purple versus purple. Reload.
Easy.
Reload. Yeah,
if
great
anything,
stuff.
The fact that Jill was able to beat, Quang made Mark's run like so much easier, not having to deal with Beelzemon.
Yeah, I guess when you don't have to worry about the purple options in security, because
10 Gaia forces.
Yeah, 10 Gaia forces are certainly a lot harder to get around as Mirage than it is on Levia when suddenly you just have a diffuse kit for all of them. But still, credit where credit's due. Great run from all the players that made their way through to top 8. Congratulations on everyone getting their serial Omni. I look forward to seeing on Twitter what it is that you actually got. And make sure to, I don't know, tweet at us and tell us what serial Omnis you got. We're actually
as well.
Yeah, shout out to Raid and Trade for letting us have our debut casting the Digimon Regionals. I hope you guys enjoyed the dual cast, enjoyed the production, and enjoyed the tournament, because we had a great time. Thank you to Yor for being our camera guy on the floor that sorted everything out. And
shout outs.
Yeah, shout out. I mean, first let me hand over the prediction points. Mirage is inevitability. Enjoy your channel points here on the Raid and Trade official stream. Hopefully they'll have us back for future regionals. The day is done for all of these players, but unfortunately for us, the day is not done for me and Marcio. We're going to be hopping over to the Twitch here. We're going to set up a raid to send it through, because we have a podcast to record where we're going to be talking the EU results, probably building some Sakuya or some other nonsense, and be hopping into it. Again, massive thank you to Raid and Trade for holding the regional and giving us the opportunity to broadcast it to all of you guys. Hope you enjoyed everything. And for those of you that want to stick around and see us on the pod, we'll see you there. Tell everyone, see you next time.